Hey guys, we have some updated rosters as of July 3rd. The start of the day today. Kawhi has not made a decision yet, so I thought I'd just run some simulations based on the new rosters with the rookies and where Kawhi could be. Let's start out with the scenario of the Los Angeles Lakers, which is probably the most likely. We're going to skip ahead here to the playoffs, get right to the point. We ran a simulation. OKC got the number 1 seed, San Antonio number 8. 4-5 would be the Warriors and Jazz. The Lakers got the 3 seed with Kawhi, Denver. The 6 seed, Houston, New Orleans. Over in the East, Brooklyn, the 1 seed, Atlanta, the 8. The Knicks, surprisingly, the 4 seed, Milwaukee, the 5. Washington and Cleveland, Philadelphia, and Boston round out the playoffs. So we simulate the first round. OKC moves on. Golden State beats the Jazz in 7. The Lakers with Kawhi beat Denver in 6. And Houston beats New Orleans. In the East, Brooklyn 4-1 over the Hawks. The Knicks move on to face the Nets. Washington sweeps the Cavs. Cavs make the playoffs. That's surprising. Philadelphia over Boston in 7. Second round, OKC over Golden State. And Houston eliminates Kawhi's Lakers to move on to the conference finals. The Nets over the Knicks and the Sixers over the Wizards. And the NBA Finals would be the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Brooklyn Nets. Now, obviously, this isn't scientific, and it would be more scientific if we ran like 100 simulations for each scenario or whatever, but I don't have that kind of time. So, in our first scenario, the Nets win the championship. Obviously, this is with a healthy Kevin Durant, and we all know he will not be healthy next year, so take that with a grain of salt. The Nets should still be a playoff team with Kyrie and his supporting cast, with or without KD, but they're championship caliber with KD. So, the next scenario, and least likely in my opinion, the Los Angeles Clippers do not even make the playoffs with Kawhi on their roster. Let's look at how the first round went. Oklahoma City beat Memphis. Houston beat Denver. Utah over Golden State in 5. And the Lakers beat New Orleans. Philadelphia over the Wizards 4-1. They got the number 1 seed. The Sixers did. Celtics 4-1 over the Pacers. Toronto 4-2 without Kawhi over Milwaukee. And Brooklyn 4-1 over the Orlando Magic. So the second round, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Rockets, the Lakers, and the Jazz in the Western Conference. While in the Eastern Conference, we have Philadelphia and Boston, Brooklyn, and Toronto. And I think it's a pretty fair assessment that those 4 teams are the 4 best teams in the East, whether Kawhi ends up in Toronto or not. So let's look at the Western Conference Finals. Would be the Jazz and the Rockets. Jazz with the home court advantage there. And Brooklyn and Boston in the East. Again, this is the simulation with the Clippers. And the Clippers with Kawhi don't even make the playoffs. So the Rockets beat the Jazz 4-1. The Nets beat the Celtics 4-2. So we've got a Brooklyn-Houston NBA Finals. And the Rockets are going to win it in 5. So Chris Paul and James Harden win it with the scenario of Kawhi going to the Clippers. Now, how about the scenario of Kawhi staying in Toronto? Can they win back-to-back NBA championships up north? Simulation done. Denver and Memphis in the first round. Lakers, Jazz. Golden State, Houston, OKC, New Orleans. Now on to the East. Philadelphia and Indiana, Milwaukee, Washington, Brooklyn, Cleveland. Toronto does get the 2 seed with Kawhi, and they go on to beat the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. Go to the second round. Again, we've got Toronto, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee. Somehow I forgot about Milwaukee in that last assessment. They're definitely a top 4 or 5 team. It's going to be interesting no matter what happens in either of the conferences, but the East should have a little bit more parity. So the second round is the Raptors and Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Milwaukee in the East. In the West, you've got the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies upset the 1 seed Denver Nuggets. And Houston and New Orleans. If Memphis were to make the playoffs and do something like that, Ja Morant would have to have like an MVP caliber season, which I don't know that is possible in his rookie year. Jumping from Murray State to the NBA is a pretty big jump. So the Rockets beat the Lakers in the conference finals, and we have a Rockets-Nets finals again where the Nets win. So Kawhi staying in Toronto, that scenario, he goes out in the second round. So that is our just quick simulation with up-to-date rosters. Interesting to do, but nowhere near scientific. And that is what we have here on the Moldy Cheese Basketball Network.